Let's bring in David DeRoche, who's an associate professor at the Near East South Asia Centre for Security Studies at the National Defence University. He joins me live from Bethesda, Maryland. Appreciate you taking the time, David. So let's just think back to that previous assassination attempt on Donald Trump. It was only 2 months ago. A lot of criticism of the Secret Service at the time. The director eventually stepped down. Do you think that the Secret Service performed on this occasion up to the expected standard?
I think so. I mean, they managed to neutralize the threat before the president was actually in danger. The difference, aside from a greater emphasis, probably use of regular Secret Service agents rather than a large number of impressed Homeland Security agents who aren't quite as well trained in executive protection, is that they were operating on Trump's home turf. And of course, golf is a game of distance and predictability. So they were able, predictability until you actually hit the ball. So they were able to follow a prepared plan, whereas in the Butler, Tennessee, they were in a place that the president had never been, that they had probably never been, dealing with a large crowd of people.
As I said, that's just 2 months now since the previous attempt. Mm-hmm. 2 attempts in 2 months. I presume that's pretty unusual. And do we have any explanation as to why that could be the case? Is it pure coincidence?
Well, it's not that unusual. When Gerald Ford was president, he had 2 assassination attempts on him on one visit to California. So that was within a week. I think, everybody has an explanation. People on the left generally say, well, we have a violent society. We have too many guns. We need more gun control. People on the right are saying that if you routinely and repeatedly say that this man is a threat to our democracy, our way of life, and our government, what kind of patriotic American would not take some sort of action against that? So I think that given that there's 330 million Americans, and given that the political discourse has gotten increasingly heated over the last 20 years, this is sort of a byproduct of that. But I think that there's also a strong coincidental element as well.
Did we get to hear the motivation behind the previous assassination attempt, and will we get to hear this one, do you think, or is that sensitive information?
Well, that's a good question. So there has been some criticism of law enforcement for basically all of this guy's social media presence has been removed from the web. And in some instances, for example, the Nashville church school shooter, who was a born woman identified as a male, his or their manifesto was withheld from the public. The issue with the first one, of course, is that he's dead. What people usually try to do is they read the tea leaves by looking at things like campaign contributions, and based on that say, well, he's allied with this party or that party. So that's started already, and it remains to be seen what comes out of it.
Really interesting to get your analysis, David DeRoche from the National Defence University. Appreciate it.